Good morning, friends. I just got to the grocery store. I have so much to do in very little time, so it's going to be a really quick intro, but I thought I'd take you with me just throughout the day and all the things I need to do, so it would keep me accountable and on track. And also I was hoping to motivate and inspire you if you have a really busy day. So to run down my to-do list today, I have to go to the grocery store. I'm only getting produce. I'm going to try something different for the next few weeks, see how I like this. Now, it would make more sense, obviously, to grocery shop for everything at once, but I'll kind of go over what my thought process is behind that and what I plan to do for the next few weeks. But today I'm just getting produce and I'm going to prep all of that produce. So that's the first thing on my list. I also need to do a couple loads of laundry, which, like, for some reason, I feel like we have so much laundry recently. I used to just do it on the weekends, and now I feel like I have to do it every day, which would probably be good because when baby gets here, it'll get me into a routine. I really need to mop my floors and I need to empty the dishwasher, put the dishes away. Like I said, I have a very small time window to do that. So let's get into the grocery store. Let's get all this produce. Let's prep it. And hopefully, like I said, it'll motivate you if you have a lot to do today or sometime throughout the week. You can pop this video on and we can hang out together while we are doing our to-do list. So let's get started. Oh, if you are new here, I would love if you would hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. If you have been around my channel for a while, you already know you need to hit that thumbs up and you should already be subscribed. Okay, let's go into the store. The first thing I'm doing for my produce prep is turning my oven on because I'm going to get some sweet potatoes in there in a little bit. And I apologize. I had footage of me shopping in the store and I cannot find it anywhere. So my apologies. I meant to kind of make this kind of more vlog style, I guess. Didn't happen. So I do wash all of my produce when I come home. I don't always show it, but I do wash it. Recently, I've been doing the baking soda method. Some people do the salt method. Some people use veggie and fruit wash. It's really just whatever you feel like doing. And then I scrub my potatoes usually, depending on if I am using the skins or not, or saving the skins for veggie broth, which I did this day, and I don't have the clip of that either. So either my camera was delusional or I was. Maybe I didn't hit record when, when I thought I was. But what I do with all of my veggie scraps is I put them in a large Ziploc, like a large gallon-sized Ziploc, and I've been using the same one since we moved into this house. I have a couple of them that I will fill up, and when they're full, I will either make veggie broth on the stovetop, Instant Pot, or crock pot, just depending on the day and kind of what I feel like doing. Recently, I've been doing Instant Pot method, and then you can save the veggie broth. Once it's done, you can save it in the fridge or freezer, completely up to you. So like I said, the first thing I did was get my sweet potatoes going. I just poked some holes in them after I scrubbed them really well, put them into the oven, and they took about 40 minutes to bake. I don't mind if they're kind of sitting off to the side and baking while I'm doing other things. You can also put them in your crock pot, your Instant Pot, whatever, but I was using the oven on and off a lot today. Not necessarily for right now, but I did have like a small chunk of my time I used for filming for the Use It Up challenge that I'm doing. So instead of what I normally do for Use It Up challenge, I normally will not buy anything at all for an entire week and I'll just use what we have. But this time I decided to buy $35 worth of produce and then use what we have. So I actually will be able to stretch this probably for 2 weeks. I will probably go back next week and buy more produce, but I thought this would kind of add the elements of freshness and then using the things that we have. Freezer meals, bits and bobs that are left in the refrigerator that are leftovers, and then things in the pantry that we have in bulk that I can use to kind of stretch our grocery budget and then use things up, because I hate when there's like a quarter package of something left that I bought for a recipe and I didn't use it all and then it just sits there. We have an emergency pantry, so that is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the pantry that's that little door behind me by my refrigerator. Things in there that I really want to use up that I don't really want to go bad. So I make intentional Use It Up weeks into my meal plan. And so what I did this past week is I sat down and wrote down all the things that could need used up and that would make great meals. And then I decided to go ahead and add a produce budget to it. And I'll probably, like I said, do the same for next week. I just might need to go in and get more produce. So to kind of switch things up a little bit, I decided that today was going to be a produce shopping day and a produce prepping day. I think this was really, really helpful because then later on in the week, every time I go to make a meal, I have that all done and it really cuts down on the time. Instead of the meal maybe taking 20 minutes to make, well, now I don't have to cut or chop anything. Now it might only take 10 minutes to make. Hopefully that makes sense. And then since I had a little extra time this day, I went ahead and made 2 meals. And you'll see those in a separate video, which I think is actually going to post before this one. So I will link it down below so you can see all the meals that I made. It's not the entire week, I'll be honest, because sometimes we just had fruit and cereal or fruit and oatmeal, or we had an almond sandwich, just like things that I feel like weren't worth sharing, but the actual meals that I feel like are inspiring, I went ahead and shared those. So what you're seeing here is I'm obviously doing all my produce prep, but here I'm actually doing a soup prep. So I'm doing onions, carrots, and celery. I started doing this, I want to say it was 2 summers ago, and a lot of times I would do it when I got home from the grocery store, and then I would freeze it, so that way in the next couple of weeks or a couple of months when I knew we wanted to make a soup, I would have some, like, I can't remember what this is called. There's a word in French for it, but I would have this all ready to go, and so I would just take the bags out of the freezer and make a soup. But this week I do want to make a creamy wild rice soup. Since I have all the ingredients on hand, I was like, you know what, I'll get this ready to go, and then it just saves me a little bit of time later in the week. If I decide to put it in the Instant Pot, saves me more time as well. And then I was so surprised with myself, but when thinking of this meal plan, and the reason I wanted to go get a bunch of produce is because for the first time in nearly 18 weeks, I feel like eating vegetables. I shared a couple of times in recent videos that I just have not wanted vegetables. I've had a lot of food aversions during this pregnancy, but for whatever reason, this week I woke up and I was like, you know what I want? I want vegetables. I felt like myself. It felt really good. I feel like this has been the best week so far. So having vegetables in my diet was really important to me. Again, a reason why I decided to add the produce in. So we're going to start cutting and chopping the tomatoes and the peppers here. These honestly were so good just raw. I was craving red peppers so bad that I was actually sneaking a lot of these items and eating them while I am filming. So you might see me eating pieces here or there. But there is a really good rice stuffed pepper soup that I make with lentils, rice, stuffed peppers, and they use tomatoes as well, canned tomatoes. I will link that video down below if you want to check it out. We also make like a hamburger hot dish, but we use lentils because I don't eat hamburger, and I will put peppers in that too. I just think it's really good. It just kind of zhuzhes it up a little bit, adds a little flair to it, adds some veggies. I think if you have picky eaters, it can be helpful too because you can kind of hide some things in there depending on, the eaters in your home. But I've been really trying to, this whole week, using it up, adding vegetables to every single meal since they've been tasting good to me again. All right, I have a question for you, and I need you to answer it down in a comment below. I saw a TikTok the other day of a lady who was grocery shopping with her husband, and they were in the produce department, and she was snacking on a lot of the produce. Now, produce mostly, if you shop where I shop, most of it is by the pound. Some of them are like packaged where you buy the whole package, like baby carrots, or they might have a large bag of avocados, or a large bag of apples, but most everything is sold by the pound in the produce sections that I shop. This lady was taste testing a lot of the produce. And the comment section was up in arms. So personally, I don't taste test vegetables or fruits, grapes, anything like that when I'm at the grocery store because it's gross to me. And I feel like a lot of hands have touched it. It's been sitting in a store. There's dust and dirt and germs just float all around. So personally, I'm not going to eat something and try it. I'll take it home. And if I pick the wrong one, then I know next time I need to pick a better one, like produce-wise. But the comments on this video were so upset with this lady, basically saying that it was theft. And I'd really like to know your opinion. Either way, it doesn't matter to me whether you think it's, stealing or, hey, she's just trying the produce. I would say 90% of the comments on this video said that it was stealing. And I have mixed feelings about that, I guess. Because if you go to a restaurant, you eat your food and then you pay before you leave. It's kind of the expectation. I think the difference of this is that most of it was by the pound. So you couldn't pay for those ounces that you ate. But there was someone in the comments that worked at Safeway that had said that they worked in the produce section of Safeway for 30 years. And, it was just expected that sometimes people tasted the produce and it was just what you did. I'd really like to know, truthfully, do you taste the produce when you go to the store? No judgment for me. I don't care what you do. You do what's best for you. I'm just curious. Because again, I cannot. I have to go home and wash it and clean it and make sure it feels edible to me. So I could never do that. But I'm just curious because I think it would be different if I went to a farmer's market. I feel like it might feel different for me because it feels like there's less hands on that produce. But I don't know. Maybe not. I'm kind of a germy person. That's why I have to wash all my produce. So anyways, getting into the cucumbers here. These were great. I'm not into salads yet, but I was doing lettuceless salads this week. And I think in the video that I shared, I did share a dressing recipe. If not, then I'll share it here soon because I did make a homemade dressing. What I did is I did peppers, tomatoes, cucumbers, and then I stir-fried some squash and made like a really good salad. It was really, really good. Highly recommend if you want to try something different, try a lettuceless salad. So moving on to the fruit. Again, I feel like, okay, I could never eat a grape from the grocery store because they are so dirty. Have you ever looked at the water after you're done washing grapes? They are so dusty and sandy and yeah, I'll be honest though, when we were in California this past fall, we were in wine country and I did try some of the grapes straight off the vine, but that feels more natural to me than like them being shipped and touched by a bunch of people and then in the grocery store. As you saw, I do the baking soda method. I will let them sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. I feel like this is the best way for me to clean my veggies at the time. I will sometimes also do the salt method, but those are my two favorite. I don't usually buy the fruit and veggie wash. I've always contemplated it, but never have. This is the only fresh fruit I have on hand besides a couple of bananas, this and the strawberries I'm about to prep. I like having them with yogurt and granola in the morning. My husband likes to put strawberries sometimes in smoothies, but we have a lot of frozen fruits on hand, so we don't typically put this stuff into our smoothies. Fruit right now is the only sweet thing I can really eat during my pregnancy. Any kind of baked good or anything like that just like does not sound good to me. So I've been making sure to always keep fruit on hand every single week. That is something that I've been able to eat. I'm really thankful for that. And I always tell you guys this, but in case you're new, in case you've never done this before, save the tops of your strawberries, put them in a large bag or large container in your freezer and use them for your smoothies. So you'll see I chop off like probably more than the average person, but because I put them in my smoothies, it doesn't bother me. I feel like a lot of people would chop less of the green part down, but these strawberries are obviously not in season, so they have a lot of white to them. But I will take these and add them to my bag in the freezer, and then every time I make a smoothie, I will usually add a handful if we have some on hand. So I do have some lemons from my friend's tree. I had like 10 of those at the beginning of the week, and I've been having tea with lemon, so good. And then I have mushrooms and tomatoes and just all this freshness all chopped up ready to go to make meals, and I'll put that into the refrigerator. Okay, now time to knock out laundry. As you can see, I have a bunch here that's already folded from a few days ago, but I'm going to start a load of towels and then another load of clothes. In full transparency, I did not fold or put any of this away. My husband did when he came home from work because I literally only had time to start it and get it into the dryer. But a huge, huge thank you to EarthBreeze for sponsoring today's video. We've been using EarthBreeze for years and nothing cleans our clothes better. From sweaty workouts to long day uniforms, everything is always fresh thanks to EarthBreeze. These little sheets are 100% dissolvable in either cold or hot water, and they take up far less space than a plastic laundry jug. Plus, they're better for the planet and so much easier to use. Packaging is really lightweight and really easy to store. EarthBreeze has a flexible subscription that you can self-manage to adjust, pause, or cancel at any time, no questions asked. They deliver directly to your door, and they are perfect for all laundry lifestyles, including sensitive skin. And my husband has the most sensitive skin when it comes to laundry detergent, and once we found EarthBreeze, we literally never looked back. They have a 100% satisfaction guarantee or your money back, no questions asked. But most importantly, EarthBreeze is tough on stains and it removes odors. There's no reason not to switch. Go to earthbreeze.com/Miranda to get started with 40% off. That's earthbreeze.com/Miranda to get started with 40% off your subscription. There's a direct link in the description box for easy access. Okay, I'm going to be 100% truthful with you. I did not mop my floors today. I did the laundry. Well, I started it. I also folded the towels and all of this laundry that you're seeing me stuff into the washer right now. All of these clothes were in the dryer and my husband graciously put everything away. We will usually text each other, leave each other notes saying like, hey, this is what I got done for the day. And then the other person will kind of like pick up the slack. I have been doing kind of a new way of doing my chores recently. I used to do everything just on Sundays, but I realized that is not sustainable for me. I have to do a little bit every single day. So what I've been kind of doing, instead of everything on Sunday and doing like a massive 2-hour clean, it's obviously things like laundry and dishes have to be done every day, but I've been kind of breaking it down and doing a few things on certain days, not every day because I don't have time every day because of my work schedule, but certain days I'll say, okay, this is what I'm doing this day. I'm going to go produce shopping, mop my floors, do the laundry, do all the dishes, and do a little bit of meal prep. And then in 2 days, I will come back and do like the bathrooms, and I will vacuum, I will dust, etc. So unfortunately, I don't have I don't even say I have the time. I don't really have the necessarily energy to do a full house clean every Sunday anymore. And I realize, again, it's not sustainable for the lifestyle that I want to have. I don't really want to spend 2 or 3 hours on a Sunday cleaning my entire house. I would rather knock out 20, 30 minutes, maybe an hour of cleaning every single day and just kind of keep up with it. My husband has certain chores, I have certain chores, but we will kind of do each other's things if we have more time. And then again, we'll just like text each other, hey, dishwasher, I didn't start it. You know, if you have any dishes from dinner, please put them in and start it, etc., etc. So then each other knows. But another thing I've been doing is I have not always waited till my dishwasher is all the way full before starting it, because we have a dishwasher that is like an energy water saver, so we don't have to. And it's actually been really helpful too, because that is something that when I open up and if it smells bad, being pregnant, I do not like. Okay, so I am cleaning up my kitchen and my mess from my meal prep. And I don't know if I've ever shared this before, but I thought I would today because I was like, well, maybe you're looking for a way to clean your cutting board. I don't know. Since I just use them for produce, I just do the salt method. I will leave that sit for 10 or 15 minutes. It sat while I was upstairs doing the laundry, and then I will just rinse it off with hot water. My knives I never put in the dishwasher. It keeps them from getting super dull. Obviously, you can sharpen them, but knives should not go in the dishwasher. And then it means that I sharpen them like once every other month versus once every time I use them. And then obviously my pots and pans, I never put in the dishwasher either. I just scrub out and let dry. And I don't like to leave things sit on my counter. There are certain things I don't put in my dishwasher, but I don't like to leave things sit on my counter. The cutting board I will just lay across the sink and let it dry. And then usually when my husband comes home, or if I come home first after a while, it's dry, and then we will let it sit above the refrigerator, but I'll just let that sit. But I hate leaving things on my counter, so I will make sure I put everything away when I'm done cleaning up, because I like to have everything like fresh and clean. I get a lot of comments on this in my videos. I think I'm a ladybug per se. As you can see, there's stuff over there that needs cleaned up. I cleaned all that up before I went to work this day. But I believe a ladybug is someone who like has things but likes them put away and not seen. That's how I am. I have things, I just don't like them out. I don't like a lot of things on my cupboard. I don't like a lot of things around. I like things to be in cabinets and in closets. The other thing I like to do is once I do a really big meal prep, I like to scrub my counters. I just use some Dawn dish soap. That's what I had on hand this day. Sometimes I'll use quartz cleaner, but this day I just decided, since I was messing with a bunch of different elements, that's what I would use. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me for the afternoon. I did not mop my floors. It ended up being 64 degrees outside, and I took that 30 minutes to go for a run instead of mopping my floors. Again, I'll do it tomorrow. Make sure I put on my list for tomorrow, but sometimes you have to be willing to exchange things that fill your soul than just like cleaning your floors. So old me would not have been able to do that, but new me did. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you had a ton of fun, and I will see you soon in a new video, probably within a couple days. Bye-bye.